Here's the truth about parenting. Most of us have no clue what we're doing, but we are experts at making stuff up as we go. So if you ever feel like you suck at raising those little humans, welcome to the club. Every week, I'm talking to some of the most raw, hysterical, and fearless kid raisers I know. Because the truth is, we're all just winging it. Welcome to Parenting on the Fly. FitBump founder Kira Kohrherr is an AFAA certified and ACE pre-postnatal certified personal trainer. With over 15 years experience, she works with moms striving for fit, healthy pregnancies. In 2015, she created FitBump T3, targeted trimester training for moms searching to maintain a higher level of fitness through pregnancy and to actively prepare for labor. Kira is a 21-time half marathoner and 4-time full marathoner. She just became a first-time mom to son Rhys in August 2016. Welcome, Kira. Hi, Kira.
Thank you. Hi, Nasia. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I'm so excited to talk to you because we've known each other a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
But
yeah.
We've only actually, have we ever been in person together?
I think twice.
Twice? Okay.
yeah, I think twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Yeah.
So I got the pleasure of writing for your website when you
did.
Like newly-ish launched,
yeah,
right?
Probably about 4 years ago.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I wrote for FitBump some articles about pregnancy and dancing and working out. And it was so great because I think working out through pregnancy is something that doesn't get enough props as it should.
No,
you know what I mean?
It doesn't.
So you are, I didn't even know that you're a 21-time half. That's stupid. Like that's stupid. That's stupid.
Only insane people do that. Yeah.
For real. But obviously that lends to the fact is why this has become your passion, because staying fit is obviously a huge part of your life. Bring me back a little bit. Tell me,
Sure.
So Rhys is your first child.
Yes.
What was the most surprising thing about pregnancy that you found?
So just as an aside, Rhys turns 1 on Thursday.
Oh, happy birthday, Rhys!
Thank you. And do you remember how fast the first year went?
Like a blink.
It's wild.
Like a blink.
So, what I found most surprising about pregnancy was having done a lot of half marathons and a lot of full marathons, and like you running a company. And I really, when people said, you might have to slow down a little bit, I was like, no. That's not going to be me. That's not going to happen. And I really was surprised at some of sort of the limiting physical challenges that I got towards the end with, you remember when it's hard to breathe, sleeping becoming super uncomfortable. I think the sleeping was very difficult for me. And early on, before I even really had a bump, I had this rib pain that did not go away until 30 seconds after he was born. Jeez. So I continued to work out because working out was actually one of the only things that helped me. But the rib pain was pretty rough throughout the pregnancy. I didn't have any morning sickness. I didn't have any food aversions. I didn't have any cravings. I really had a very dream pregnancy, except for this bothersome rib. But like, I think the tiredness towards the end and really being like, okay, I do need to just take a bit of a breather and be a little more mindful of what my body is telling me.
Right, because you're running a business. So are you still doing publicity?
I've had a PR agency for 10 years.
Okay. So you're running a PR agency in New York. You have a fully functional website that caters to moms who want to work out.
Running prenatal workout classes while I was pregnant. Yeah.
Right. And then moving somewhere in there?
And then this year, moved to Pennsylvania when Rhys was 6 weeks old.
That's insane. That's insane, right? It's people insane. Should not be moving when their babies are 6 weeks old.
I'm going to advise anyone listening, do not do such a thing. Then moved to California, January and February, back to PA for a month, then to Indianapolis for 3 months, then back here in June. So it has been the wildest year ever with a newborn.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm
Oh
like,
my
if
gosh.
we can roll with the punches now, we can kind of do anything.
Right. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I mean, the great thing about this stage now, though, is that he is not quite mobile enough to like get into trouble, because that is, sister, that is when it's over.
Oh, I know.
Once they are mobile, it's like, crap, where's the kid? Like you can put, you know what I mean? Those first few months, you can put the baby down and like know that the baby's going to be there when you get back.
Go to the bathroom, come back. I know.
Exactly. But now it starts to get real. So is he walking now?
He's cruising. He can cruise with the little push thing. My sister-in-law was here this weekend and she was like, don't encourage walking. She has a 3-year-old.
Stifle it.
She has a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. She's like, don't encourage it. Don't encourage it.
So what has been the most surprising thing? We talked about what the most surprising thing about pregnancy was, you know, you're not being able to move and that kind of thing, the limiting physical nature of it.
Yes.
But what has been the most surprising thing about motherhood? Now that he's out, he's here in the world, what has been the thing that's really caught you off guard or you thought would be different?
Earlier on, I didn't think breastfeeding was going to be so hard. It was epically challenging. I had a very easy, smooth birth, and breastfeeding just like almost broke me. It was so hard, and he was tongue tied, and you know, a lot of different challenges, and I was not very well prepared for that. But I did have a good support system to work around it. But that initially was really challenging the first couple of weeks. I think now, I don't know. I think like you can imagine that a baby would be time consuming. like in your mind, you're like, of course, yes, that baby thing would be time consuming, but it's really time consuming, right? It's like as soon as you get breastfeeding down, gone are the days of breastfeeding for 40 minutes at a clip or whatever craziness it was. Now it's like you're saying, remember, oh my God, I got to remember to feed this kid. I got to, I got to remember all these things. And I think what I didn't imagine was that, and I'm going to assume this will change soon, but my whole day is on a ticking clock. Right. It's like the sands of time are always like, it's either countdown to nap or countdown to food or there's always like a schedule, and maybe that's just me. Not everybody is probably that type A.
No, there's always a schedule because like you said,
people out there.
No, kids got to eat, kids got to change, kids got to,
take a nap,
like take a bath. Like, so no, everybody's on some sort of schedule where they just have like a finite amount of time to do an infinite amount of things.
Right. I don't think I imagine that my life would be these very tiny increments of time between things, right? And you must know, it's like, okay, I've got 15 minutes to hustle and get A through Z done.
Right.
And then this, and then I have 10 minutes. And so I have a very fragmented day, which that to me, I think is probably what was most surprising.
Yeah. Because when you're single or when you're pre-parents, your time is your time. I mean, aside from your job time and like maybe family obligations every once in a while, your time is your time.
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
You can
What's
do whatever
that like?
You want. What is that like?
I don't remember. Can you tell me, remind me what it's like to have your own time?
Just have your own time. Yeah, I know.
What is that? Yeah, that's definitely a huge change. So you are married.
I'm married.
How long have you guys been married?
We've been married. It's a good question. We've been married. We will have been married 4 years in October.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So a little over 3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So, have you found like any of your husband's parenting styles vastly different from your own that you didn't anticipate?
He is definitely not as scheduled as I am. And I definitely was more of a stickler for the routine because I will say, in my defense, because we're always in a new location.
Right.
It's like I've been doing sleep training since January. Every time we're in a new space. This kid's like, where am I now? So for me, I like to have like a certain method around bedtime and whatever, so that he's not totally off kilter.
Right.
My husband's parenting style is definitely much more relaxed than that. Right. But you know, we're not really into the thick of it yet, because it's not like he's, you know, doing anything where we need to sit and have a conversation with him. It's more like,
right,
oh,
that's
when would you choose to do this, versus, oh, I would prefer to do things this way, you know. But,
right.
So
right,
it's not been too intense, but we definitely are different types of people, which I think is good for parents, right?
It is.
It's like, you need to have a balance. You can't have two type A parents.
No, you certainly can't. I will say though that one thing you will just heed my words of wisdom.
Please.
When he gets older, whatever differences you have, don't say it in front of him.
100%. We've already had that conversation.
Okay,
have
good.
to be on the same page. And I said to him the other day too, because we were talking about something. I said, being on the same page doesn't mean one person says something and the other parent's just quiet, because sometimes being quiet means that you're opposing by your quietness.
That's true.
So we both have to vocally be on the same page.
Right. Be like, yes, your mom is right when she said you have to you have to go brush your teeth. That's what you have to do.
That's a thing you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they will, honestly, it doesn't take that long. Like in a year, maybe a year and a half, Rhys will be able to say, you know, oh, mommy, can I have this thing? And you say no. And then be like, oh daddy, can I have this thing?
Right. And I'll go, sure, of course. You can have 50 of those things.
And you will be like, what just happened?
And I'll be like, no. Yeah. That will be a scenario in my future for sure. Yes.
So Rhys he's cruising right now. He's not
cruising.
Quite walking.
Yep.
I mean, babies are so cute at that age. Like I just
so
remember,
cute.
I mean, just so squishable, and
he's so cute.
And
he just wants to go. He's kind of a snuggler. He does that really hilarious open mouth kiss thing.
Yes,
where it's like
I
they're
love
gonna
it.
eat you, where they're like, ah, you know, and you're like, oh.
That is not something you probably expected before.
No,
I'd be like, I would be open mouth kissing my child,
like just
all the time.
over my face. And he's a great eater.
That's awesome.
Eating everything. I make the majority of his food, so that's another time-consuming thing. I'm just adding to my plate. But he's really a pretty chill kid. He's not a fan of sleeping.
Oh,
that's
there's
thing.
Always something. There's
that's
always something.
I
was gonna say when we were talking about your pregnancy, I always tell moms when, you know, dual client or any mom, when they're pregnant, if your pregnancy went awesome, breastfeeding's gonna suck.
Yes.
If your pregnancy was terrible, breastfeeding's gonna be easy. You know what I mean? Like there's always something.
Always.
Like, you
always
don't get away scot-free.
Nope.
Nobody
You don't
does.
escape. You don't escape.
There's always an issue. So like you said, he's a great eater, he's on the go, but sleeping not so much. So tell me about the sleeping.
I mean, he will not sleep past like 5:30, 5:45.
Oh, screw you, kid. Sorry, Rhys. That's not okay.
Yeah,
that's not okay.
That's his thing.
That's not okay.
He'll go down, and I will say 8 out of 10 times he'll sleep through the night. But you know, randomly this weekend he was up at 2:30. Don't know why. Took him 45 minutes.
Is he sleeping with you guys or in another room?
No. Another room.
She's like, no.
No. Another room in his crib, because again, with all the different sleep locations, I'm like, we have to have it be consistent.
Right, for sure.
And my husband and I have very different sleep styles. I lay on my back like a mummy and don't move. And David he's a tornado. We have to have separate blanket situations.
Oh my gosh.
He turns until he's in like an adult burrito. So it's like, it's not a safe sleep environment for a child.
Gotcha.
So he sleeps in his crib.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he rises at 5:30?
Yep. It doesn't, I could put him to bed later. He's still up. It doesn't matter when I put him to bed. He's up with the sunrise, this kid. And let me tell you, I've got double blackout curtains in the room. It could not be. I've got double blackout curtains.
Oh my gosh.
2 sound machines. An aromatherapy diffuser with a sleep oil blend. I'm like, sleep, please sleep.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
Yes, it is set up to be a very good sleep environment. And I don't think he's ever going to sleep more than like 9.5, 10 hours, which like in theory that's like a normal thing. But there's so many kids who, when I talk to parents and they're like, oh my God, my kid slept 14 hours last night and I had to wake them up at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I love you, but I want to punch you in the face. Like, that's really terrible for me to hear because I love sleep so much. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to get too attached to it because I'm like, I mean, you've got older kids.
It changes.
No 11-year-old is waking up at 5:30 in the morning. So.
Probably not. My 11-year-old, I had to wake up at 11:05 this morning. He was like a zombie. I'll say that I think your natural tendency to wake up or rise earlier, sleep, whatever, is pretty consistent. Like my oldest, he's a really good like early morning person, and he really can't hang past like, I mean he can because he's 18 now, but like he didn't like if he had his choice he really would go to sleep at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Like it wouldn't be like a late night thing. My 11-year-old on the other hand will freaking watch Netflix until 1 o'clock in the morning. He's like me. Like that's how I was as a kid, and can sleep until noon. So yeah, that's just sorry.
That's just great. And you know what? Like the thing is too, he's so pleasant. He's like up at 5:30 and is smiling. He can't be mad. He's like, hey guys, I want to hang out. Like I love hanging out with you.
Damn you, kid, you're so cute.
I know. It's tough when they're cute. Yeah, he does not want to sleep. Does not. But yes, that and the breastfeeding were my crosses to bear. Other than that, I mean, let me tell you, the birth was a breeze. We had him in water.
Yes, for water. Amen.
Yes, for water. We did a tub birth and it was fantastic.
Isn't it?
It
just
really
feel
was
like buoyant, and you feel like there's less pressure. And
it was amazing. It was amazing. I try to explain to everyone that I was at a level 10 when I got in the tub in terms of pain, because I was already like 100% effaced, station 0, like 10 centimeters dilated.
Right.
In the water, pain down to like a 6.
Yeah.
Like it just, you're like,
it's manageable. You're like, okay.
It's so manageable. And I could see, not being in water before I got in water, that if I had to do that for a couple more hours, how you just couldn't possibly have enough energy to sustain that at all.
No. It's exhausting. No. It is like running a marathon.
It is. It really is.
And it's great that, you know, your business really caters to that, because I don't think most first-time moms understand that pregnancy, raising children, the whole shebang is a marathon. Like it is not, you have to reserve your energy. You have to hydrate and refuel. You got to take little rest when you can, and then kick it up when you can. But
you're going to hit the hills. You're going to hit the hills. Like, when you have no energy, you're going to hit the hills.
But you still, you know, you overcome it. And that whole peaks and valleys thing, you know, like it's going to be hard as shit sometimes. And then other times you're going to be like, okay, I can manage this. So why do you think it's so hard to convince women that exercise is important during pregnancy?
I don't know. I think there's still a lot of misconceptions. When I started, a couple of years ago when I was starting FitBump, I had a booth at the New York Baby Show, and I remember some women and husbands coming up to me and saying very seriously things like, I don't want the baby to fall out. And I was like, let me tell you something. You're gonna wish the baby just falls out when you're in labor, lady. I was like, but there was just a lot of those sorts of things, and I don't know what I also think there's not now so much, but I think 5, 6, 7 years ago, if you were pregnant at the gym, you were getting a lot of side eye, like a lot, where people are like, oh, that seems so irresponsible. You're endangering your baby, when it's like, oh, better sleep, better digestion, better circulation. The benefits of exercise during pregnancy are endless. There's so many. And I think this new generation of moms is still a very active generation. Before, you went to college, and after that, maybe you went to the gym, but there wasn't sports per se. Now there's league teams and ultra sports and Tough Mudders, and everybody can be an athlete in some form. Dancing is so athletic and so phenomenal. For labor and delivery prep, right?
And you know what, I knew that. I knew that from having 3 other children. But, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I, started this company doing prenatal dance, and it was really hard to get going because of a lot of circumstances. I think if I was in a larger area, if I was in New York City, it would have been a lot easier. But it's such a small niche, because it's like, okay, first you have to find pregnant women, which constantly changes and rotates. So you're constantly getting new people. Then you have to find pregnant women that want to exercise. And then you got to find pregnant women who want to exercise and choose dance as one of their modes of exercise. So it was such a drilled down, tiny little niche, that I think that was its biggest challenge. But at the end of the day, I knew the benefits of it because I'd seen it in myself, just moving and just being able to move your hips and move your body in a way and not getting stuck because you're not stretched out or whatever. I truly believe it is why I had the labors that I had, and all of them, sorry, nobody punched me for this, but all of them were 3 hours and under. That was me. I'm not guaranteeing you those results. But I will say, I feel like it would have taken longer, or I would have been more uncomfortable. Even if it hadn't taken longer, I would have been more uncomfortable if I hadn't been in shape and been able to move my body with the rhythm of, the contractions and all that stuff. So,
well, and it's interesting. I think that there's stuff that's sort of permeated what we know about labor and delivery that I think we have to start changing, how we think about it. Like you're saying, things that move the body and keep the body fluid and that sort of thing are really, really positive. For me, I was really active throughout. When I stopped being able to run, my husband and I would walk on the West Side Highway 5 to 7 miles every day. I was still lifting because, oh my God, picking up a baby and putting down a baby, your lower back and your arms, forget it. If you can't lift during a pregnancy, you're in serious trouble for injury after.
Right.
But, then on the flip side of that, a lot of when women actually do move, it's funny. It's when they've started to go into early labor. The whole walking out the baby scenario.
Right.
And I've had a lot of my friends who were like, I went and then I was walking for hours and then I was so tired by the time I got to the hospital. And my midwives took a different approach. They were like, early labor, lay down immediately and try to sleep as long as possible. Like marathon training, you could be in for the long haul, conserve energy. So when I started to go into mild pre-labor, I literally slept during the day, drinking my coconut water with chia seeds and all these other goodies I had prepped. And when I went into serious labor, I was ready to go into labor.
Right.
I think a lot of people come into it tired. So there's this backwards thinking around when the effort should be placed in activity, I think, during pregnancy and labor and delivery.
Absolutely. Because I think most doctors, they say, limited activity or whatever while you're pregnant. But I think most women have the thought that oh, I need to be careful now. Like in the beginning of pregnancy, I need to be careful, and with, you know, risk of miscarriage or whatever they're worried about, but they're more delicate with their body. And if you've already been doing exercise is great. The same level is great to continue for as long as you can.
Great.
And for as long as you're comfortable. But if you haven't done any exercise prior to pregnancy, that's not maybe the time to like start CrossFit. Like that's not necessarily.
Not. No, and I also do think too, we're going to start to see a little bit of a backlash on the other end, where I've been talking to, and I'm interested in what you're seeing as a doula, but a lot of midwives and OBs who say that it's going a little bit in the other direction, where women are becoming overly tight from exercise. And a lot of very fit people are having to go into C-sections because they're unable to push from the tightness.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
I mean, think about the, you know, and I don't want to poo-poo any form of exercise. I think that there's really great benefits to all exercise, but I think during pregnancy is a good time to diversify. So if you've been a spinning junkie, maybe not the best time to continue to do spinning 6 days a week as your hips turn out and expand, right? Something like bar, where you're constantly tucking, is counterintuitive to what your body physically needs to do. Right.
Which is why dance is such a good one, because it opens you up and makes things more flexible and pliable and movable, because that's what you want. You want to be, and I always say this, I've said this to pretty much every doula client I've ever had. The movements that got you into this mess are the movements that will get you out.
It's so true. It's
that
so
is
true.
What it is. Like,
it's so true.
That hip grinding that you were doing that night in the back of a car in your house, wherever you were.
That's right.
That is what is going to help
get
move
you
that
out.
baby down.
I know. It's so true.
Yeah. You got to be able to move. You got to be able to.
You do.
It's so important. So what would you, since we're not ones to give advice on this podcast, because we ain't got none, because to each their own, everybody's different, everybody's baby's different, but what do you think has been the biggest takeaway for you that you've learned about yourself? Maybe it pertains to motherhood, maybe it doesn't, but just in the last year, have you changed or grown in a way that has been beneficial to you?
I think, ironically, having a baby has made me more relaxed than I was. You know, I think having a baby later in life, working and living in New York City, had me in a very tense type A mode. I think Rhys has helped me lighten up quite a bit. I'm super silly with him, making up songs and stories. And, you know, I get to be a more fun, creative individual with him, I think, than I was before. Also, for me, I think it's been important to really let go of some of the little stuff, right? Like, if I want to dig in my heels because my husband wants to play him a song to sleep when I'm like, no music, I don't want him to get attached to music and sleeping. It's like, it really, like, Kira,
if the kid sleeps,
right. Let's try all methods possible here. Like, I've been trying to let some of these little things go, because as you are very sage in your wisdom, it's like 17 years down the road, it's not going to matter. It's like, it's not going to matter. Right. And so why let those things get you jammed up?
Yeah, for sure. You're going to, if you can see the road ahead of you, those little things, you're just like,
bigger picture.
Bigger
picture.
You got to be able to let it go. And being silly and, you know, just, you know, making fun of the situations that you're in, and laughing about it. Because honestly, some stuff is just silly. It's silly. And I can't even tell you how many times a day I'm like shaking my head at, like, how is this? How are these people here? How is this my life? Because
this is your life.
This is insane. But it's also so much fun and surprising. And that's where all the joy comes from, when you get to be surprised and you get to, oh, by the way, just remembered surprises and joy. I am going on a 10-day drive with my family of 6.
Okay.
In one vehicle.
Okay.
To Toronto.
But Toronto's so fun.
Tomorrow. I'm leaving tomorrow, Kira. I'm leaving tomorrow to Toronto.
So fun.
I'm trying to sell my house. We're buying another house, and my 18-year-old is moving to college in 2 weeks. 3 weeks? 3 weeks. Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff going on.
Just gonna breathe. Just gonna breathe it in.
Just breathe and then breathe it out.
Yeah, breathe it in, breathe it out. It's a little chaotic in my house right now. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little crazy, but it's also, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about this trip because, first of all, my son's going with us, who is going to college, as I mentioned, and it's a little bittersweet. Like, I'm gonna cry at the end of it because I'm like, this may be the last time I go on a trip. I might be that person. But also being in a car with 5 other people for lots and lots of hours. So we have lots of snacks and movies and devices, and they can watch all the screen time they want. I don't care.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think that's
so.
Really
any
fair.
Advice you have for me since you've been traveling, moving, all that? Come on, give me something.
You've got it covered. I mean, we came back within 2 weeks. Rhys did 11 hours from Indianapolis, 7 to Maine, and 7 back from Maine. So we've done this. You've got it covered. Tons of snacks.
Yeah.
Lots of fun screen time.
Yes. Check.
I mean, I don't know, books for the older kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Books for mommy. I need a book.
Books for mommy.
I need a book. Got any book suggestions?
Oh, please.
Lady, when was the last time you read a book here?
I have not read anything in a really long time. Maybe some fun games to get ready for Toronto.
Yeah.
Maybe they get something when they get to Toronto, as you guys do, like a little, and also doling it out. That's what we're doling it out in increments. So not giving
rationing
them
it.
Yes. Yeah. Doling it out is the big thing.
Yeah. I think I'm going to hide some stuff.
Yes.
And then when things start to get bonkers, be like, oh, look, I forgot I had this thing.
That's exactly what you do. That's exactly what you do. Yeah. And also for you, I think a smart seating plan arrangement probably for that amount of people.
Yeah, I know. Typically, so we have like a big car, obviously that fits 7, but typically my daughter is behind the front passenger seat, and then I was gonna put my 18-year-old next to her because he's helpful, like to grab stuff for her or whatever. But then the 11-year-old and the 6-year-old who clash the most are in the back together. So I'm maybe thinking that the 6-year-old might sit next to his sister because I don't know. Yeah, I haven't thought this through, Kira. Damn it. Okay.
You gotta think it through. It's like wedding seating arrangement.
Yes.
It's like that level of seriousness.
Uncle Bob hates Aunt Jean.
Yeah,
so
they cannot be, not even at the same table. They can't be on the same side of the dance floor.
Yes, you're right. I have to think of the seating arrangements. But yeah, okay. I think I got it all covered. I think
you got it covered.
Oh Lord, I still have packing to do. So yeah.
Bless you. Bless you.
And I'm trying to do a podcast. No big deal. No big deal. I got it.
Squeeze it in there.
Well, thank you so much for coming and chatting with me today. You can check out all of Kira's information, all her great articles on fitness and parenting and pregnancy on FitBump.com.
FitBump.com. Yeah.
Awesome. FitBump.com. You can go to that. She has really great articles that can help you figure out, the best tool for you, the best exercise. And you even have videos now, right? You have videos that
we actually started a partnership with Aptive, the fitness app. And I did a bi-week of each trimester fitness program voiceover app. So you can go on there, and starts at week 5 and goes to week 40 and 4 workouts a week, and it's amazing. So we've got a lot of workouts now.
Awesome. So check that out. Get your workout on. It's really, really important, people.
Yes, it is.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much, Kira.
Thank you.
If you like this episode and want to hear more tales of making stuff up as we go, please subscribe to our show, give us a rating, and drop us a review. Thanks so much for listening to Parenting on the Fly.